welcome to the channel. My name is Lindsay, and this is Life with Lindsay. Today, we have a WIP Chat. If you are new here, hi, welcome. My name is Lindsay, and I do mainly diamond painting and some other crafting-related content, and I would love for you to like, subscribe, hit the bell, hop aboard the Hot Mess Express. Let's all be friends. If you've been here before, hi, welcome. Thanks for coming back. So, before I get super into the actual WIP Chat and what that is, and me actually whipping and chatting, a few things. My tiny human is very, very much awake and very chattery, so you may hear her off to the side here over the baby monitor. My husband is in the room, cursing his technology and the fact that our internet absolutely sucks in our house all of a sudden. And I have a rogue smoke detector that if you were in my pop-up live, which if you weren't, I will link that one up in the eye for you guys. Check that out. I'll more on that in a little bit. But I'm sure when he is done doing all of the things he has to do, he will attempt to take that down, and we'll figure out what batteries we need. Anyway, I just want to give you guys a heads up because you're probably going to hear a lot of random noises today. My husband is sometimes in the room when I record. Not a big deal. My tiny human is sometimes over the monitor when I'm recording. Not a big deal. But to have both of those things happening while a smoke detector continues to beep, I know might be a little frustrating or annoying for some of you, so I am giving you that heads up. Anyway, if you do not know what a WIP Chat is, WIP stands for Work in Progress, WIP, and you can pull out whatever it is that you are working on and work alongside with me. It can be another craft project, it can be a household project, it could be while you're, doing laundry, while you're driving, while you're working, while you're pretending to work, while you're avoiding work. You can leave it on in the background in the same way that people listen to podcasts. There's no right way or wrong way to WIP Chat, so just enjoy it however you will. I am currently working on a new kit. This is Alice and the Black Rabbit. I did an unboxing for this one. I will leave that one up in the eye. This is now my second canvas for Alice in a Winter Wonderland. So yeah, if you guys didn't see it, I completed my first kit, which was Golden Afternoon from Diamond Artisan, and I absolutely love that one. I have a post review for that one, and I will link that one up in the eye. Editing Lindsay is going to have a lot of things to remember. I have a whole pile of cardboard that I feel like is about to collapse on top of me, so if you guys hear me go, ah, that's probably what it is. It's my own fault. I could break it down and not have it sitting directly in a pile next to me, but alas, here we are, and it is just creeping further and further into, like, my desk space. Anyway, I hope that you guys are all well. So I mentioned something about the pop-up live. Let me chatter about that for a moment, and then I will get into my week. So I've decided this time around for Alice in a Winter Wonderland, which if you guys don't know, I host an Alice in Wonderland themed diamond painting event. This is our 4th annual, which is crazy pants magoo to me that this is our 4th one. But it is a diamond painting event where you work on any Alice or Alice themed diamond painting, and it is hosted by me over on Instagram. I do videos in accordance to it, but they're not required for you to watch to participate. So if you're here because you follow my content and you enjoy WIP Chats or whatever, like, it's not like this WIP Chat is just for Alice in Winter Wonderland people, or in order to participate in Alice in Winter Wonderland, I have to watch these videos. That's not how it is. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I never require people to follow me or subscribe to me or anything like that just to participate, because maybe you just like Alice in Wonderland, but you don't like me, and that's totally cool with me. But I, in previous years, have done this thing where I do a video, a WIP Chat, every week, and in that video, this is only during the duration of my event, I put in these little Easter eggs, which are little, like, memes or GIFs or whatever that flash on the screen for just a few seconds, or for a fraction of a second, I should say. And it is the first person to find one of the Easter eggs or any of the Easter eggs and to message me with the screenshot of it is becomes my featured account. And what that means is that I use my platform to showcase you guys. If you guys hear it, my husband is directly out next to me now trying to get this, and it's like wired to our ceilings.
It is, but the battery's right here. I didn't have to take it off.
Oh, fantastic. If you guys were in my live, which was in real time last night, but when you guys see it, it'll be the next day. The one question I asked was, I want to know if my husband's 6'4", he can reach the ceiling. It blows my mind because I am 5'3" and I cannot reach the ceiling. And I was like, I wonder if he can reach the smoke detector without a ladder. Well, the answer to that question is yes. Yes, he could. Oh, I was totally wrong. We might have a 9-volt downstairs.
I took it out for now.
So
there's another one up there, or maybe there isn't.
I think there's a second one, like right down at the bottom of the stairs. Anyway, so this is also real time, you guys. So, like, the conversations my husband and I are having right now with you, like, that's happening as it's happening. But yes, to answer that question, yes, he can reach it, but...
That doesn't make sense.
What? Hold on.
Maybe because it's hardwired in.
That's crazy. You guys, he just took the battery out so that we can replace it, and it's still beeping. I wonder if it beeps until it has a new battery in. Well, that's some fun technology, so there's that. Anyway, so in previous years, I've done these WIP chats. The problem is I can't fully commit to doing a weekly WIP chat, like whether I'm doing an event or not, just because, you know, life has been chaotic. And if you guys have been around for a while, you know that there's some times where, like, every single week I'll get a WIP chat out, and other times where, like, I'm lucky if I can get one a month out. I would like to be more consistent, but it's hard with life and schedules and things like that. And at the end of the day, and I say this to everybody, family first. Like, if I have a family commitment, that is always going to trump whatever commitments I have to the diamond painting community or to anything outside of crafting. But anyway, so what I've done this year is I've changed it up. Instead of doing these weekly WIP chats with the Easter eggs to be the featured account, I have decided to do what I am calling like an I Spy kind of game. And what I did was, if you watch the video, you'll see we did it for the first week. It's the same image, every one I do for 2024. Like, next year, there will be a different image if that's what I decide to do. And if you guys were in the live or you watched the replay, let me know your thoughts on it, because I'm really, really curious to see what you guys are thinking about it. I thought it was super fun, but again, it's not really for me, it's for you guys. And so what I did was I created this I Spy image, just a bunch of random things. And oh, that's really annoying. Let me see if I can show you guys the symbol that I am saying. Oh, that's annoying. So we have the star, and then the star in a circle. Is that really blurry? Oh my goodness. There we go. Hopefully this whole thing hasn't been out of focus. Anyway, so there's the star and then the star in the circle, but they're both like the same color, it looks like. Similar. Oh no, this is green and that's brown. Anyway. Oh, I'm throwing myself off here. Excuse me. On the canvas, they are both green though. So, and I just missed a bunch of this color. So anyway, back to the event video. So what I did was I would give clues, and you would have to solve the question, riddle, whatever it may be. And then from there, you find the corresponding image in the I Spy. And the first person to answer all of them and send me the answers and the screenshot of the image, like where it's, you circle it, whatever you want to do to show me this is the one. Like the one I gave the example was this is a slang term for a $100 bill, or slang term for money. Nope, that's not what I said. This slang term is a Benjamin. And then the answer would be money, and you show me the picture of the money. Anyway, so we did that. It was a lot of fun. And I don't know if I expected to have people answer all of them while we were live, or not, but they did. So obviously, if you watch the replay, you can still participate, but I've already found... What color did I just pick up? Okay. So I love diamond painting and doing WIP chats, but let me tell you, when there is a super confetti heavy canvas, I definitely find it much more difficult to talk and diamond paint. So if I seem a little bit more lost than normal, that's what it is. Because I keep having to put a color away and then picking it back up. But yes, anyway, so that's what we're doing this year instead of the weekly WIP chats with the Easter eggs. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. If you watched it, if you were there, I hope that you enjoyed it in the moment. I think it's a fun way. One of the things I always say that I love about hosting this event in particular, I love building the community. And part of that is interacting and engaging with you guys and not just saying, hey, I'm the host. Now you communicate with someone else. So I love being able to do that. And I love being able to share in those moments with you guys. And so I think this was a really fun way to do that. Anyway, now that I've rambled for what seems like a million days and all the time in the world about that, let me get into my week with you guys. I hope that you are all well. We got snow here for the first time, like real snow in a very long time. We had one day of snow like last week, I think it was, maybe, or the week before, whatever it was, but we had more snow. Anyway, and I also feel like a terrible mom because there were multiple times this week where my daughter didn't have school or my husband had work and we had no other plans, so I just let him take the car. And I am 99% sure that her snow pants are in the car. She used to wear her snow pants to figure skate in. And then we progressed to regular skate pants. And so she asked so many times about going to play in the snow. And each time I'm like, oh, shoot, Daddy has the car. And I keep forgetting to go out to the car when he comes home and looking for said snow pants. But I didn't want to be that person that had a kid outside with no waterproof jacket, no waterproof gloves, no waterproof hat, no waterproof pants, no waterproof anything. Thank God I found the snow boots that we bought. I've had so many pairs of snow boots that I've purchased for this kid over the years, and then we don't get snow. And then I just sit on these snow boots that just sit in my house. So I'll probably just put them up on Facebook Marketplace. I've got one that's like 3 sizes smaller than what she wears now. Not really helping us at all. But this year is like the first year we really got snow. So last week in my WIP chat, I told you guys that we had gone to Cirque du Soleil, which we did, and it was fantastic. And God, I hate... Confetti in general is not my favorite, but I hate when I realize how much I missed of a color, and then I have to just constantly chase it down. I know there's another one of this somewhere, because I remember seeing it going, oh, I'll fill them in at the same time. But we made a super last-minute decision to go see Cirque du Soleil locally, which was fantastic. Okay, there you are. And she really, really loved that. I'm so glad we were able to do that. I know you guys, I talked a little bit about it in the last video, but I think that she's at a really great age to enjoy it. My husband and I were chatting. The Globetrotters are coming to town soon. And he's like, I wonder if she would enjoy that. And I don't know. I remember going to see the Harlem Globetrotters with my dad when I was a kid. I don't remember how old I was. And I don't know if kindergarten is the right age for it or not, or if she's still a little young. My guess is like in a year or two, it would be much more interesting to her. But let me know your thoughts down below. But the next day was Monday. Where am I? We didn't have school. because it was MLK. And so I needed to drag my tiny human around with me to the market to do my regular shopping. I had considered doing a grocery delivery, but I wasn't really trying to do that. Sorry, I need some water. And I wanted to make sure I was getting like the right cut of meat. And the problem is if I plan my meals around, I'm making this dish on this day, which I do that for the most part, because I have certain days, like ice skating days are days that it has to be something that's in a crock pot so that when we come home, it's ready to go. And I had some very particular things that I was looking for, so I was like, you know what, it's going to just be easier. Bless you. And we decided to make Erica gave me a crock pot cookbook. And it was a combination of, what did they call it? I think they officially called it the carne relleno. So like the combination of like a chili relleno and beef. And what you did was you took your flank steak and you laid out cream cheese stuffed peppers, which is great, but you need the whole peppers that come in the can. And of course our market only had the chopped ones, and I was like, well, that's not really going to work because I can't lay them out, which, although now that I think about it, I probably could for the next time. But anyway, I went to the supermarket with my kiddo. Excuse me. Oh man, I feel like I have to clear my throat. And I could not, for the life of me, find any flank steak. And I'm like, I wonder if there's another cut of beef that is similar to it, or that would work instead of it, or does it have another name? Did you guys know that London broil and flank steak are the same thing? Because I did not, and our supermarket was having a sale on London broil. So I got that, and then we couldn't find the whole chili peppers. So I ended up having to go there and then to Walmart, which there's nothing more frustrating than I have to do groceries with my kiddo anyway, but now I have to go to a second store. Like, which she was doing a really good job, and I was very impressed. Usually going with her to the supermarket is like a nightmare situation. I feel like you have a window with small children as to like this time frame they find it entertaining enough. Okay, I am just spilling drills all over my table here. And I don't know where my little tiny white like Diamond Art Club tray went. You know, the freebie ones that come in all the kits. Because I feel like this is just packed a little too full, and I'm just spilling, trying to pack it back in. Anyway, and then you hit a point where, like, they no longer are entertained by being in the supermarket. They want to touch everything in the supermarket. They don't want to be in the cart. God damn it, I am just spilling all over my desk right now. This is real life, friends. Now half of them are underneath the cover. Also, I'd like to say, I feel like I've been spoiled by diamond painting companies with, like, good plastic covers. This plastic cover is so thin that I'm scared if I breathe too hard near it, it'll tear. So that's fun. Yeah, I do. Went to Five Below today, and she's like, "Damn it!" I mean, she used it properly, but we were like, let's not. Okay. Yeah, she was mad. One carrier was pink, one carrier was blue. These are like plastic animal carriers, and she wanted the pink one to be the one that had the cats in it, but the pink one had the dogs, and the blue ones had the cats, and she wanted a pink one with a cat in it. Now, I didn't have the heart to tell her. They may have, and it may have just been sold out, but I was just like, oh, okay. But it was, so she was talking about it, and she's like, damn it, I really wanted the pink one with the cat in it. Anyway, back to my story. And so I was just like, okay, normally it's a fight for me to put her into the cart, but I don't like putting her into the basket of the cart because she's not a little kid, and she doesn't leave things alone, and she takes up a lot of room, but also I don't like her being like willy-nilly free in the supermarket, you know? There's not really a good solution. I guess it's that you just have to hope and pray that if they stand out of the cart that they don't wreak havoc. But she did a good job. And I was very grateful because I've expressed to her many times, like, I love you dearly, but I do not like going to the supermarket with you. You make it 10 times more difficult and unenjoyable. Not that I enjoy going to the market, but that's one of the very few times that I have, like, to myself. And I don't want to have to feel like I'm scrambling and rushing and doing all these things. But I was like, all right, so here we go. We did that. And then she had an eye doctor appointment. Why did I schedule an eye doctor appointment on MLK? I don't know. Because I should have assumed that she was going to be off school instead of having this 4 o'clock appointment that I didn't realize till we showed up was basically just a, hey, we want to make sure that you're wearing your glasses, but we're not doing an eye exam. And I'm like, oh. So I said to her, because we have skating on Mondays, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be something where we need to, like, rush out the door to the rink or if we're going to have a whole lot of time to play. And it turned out we were there for just a few minutes, and they were like, wow, it seems like she wears her glasses every day. Yeah, that's the point, right? My kid can't see without her glasses. Although the amount of times this child comes downstairs in the morning, and I look at her and I go, hey, you forgetting something? And she's like, what? I'm like, your glasses? And she's like, oh, right. Yeah, mommy's so silly. But, they get such a kick out of her there. Except for the one grumpy lady. And I didn't think that she has grown that much since she got her glasses. She got her glasses in July. And it is now January. So, but they definitely are pinching like the bridge of her nose now. And I don't know if that's because they've tightened the arms so many times. I feel like I'm in there like at least like once, maybe every other month, if not more. Because she just stretches out her frames and we keep retightening them. And I just think maybe they were just a little tight and that's why they were pinching on her nose. But I don't know. And so they were like, okay, but no eye exam today. And I'm like, oh, then what the hell was this? Also, like, I want to know, am I being charged for like a full appointment for them to basically just have my kid read off the eye chart and say, wow, good job wearing your glasses? I don't know. I guess I'll find out. But she has an actual eye exam coming up. And she, for the first, like, you all right, babe?
Yeah, I'm okay.
The first, like, 5 years of her life, I couldn't get her to wear sunglasses. Like, constantly, like, kiddo, can you wear a pair of sunglasses? If you guys don't know, I have very light blue eyes. And so the sun has always, like, really bothered me. Ooh. And I am very sensitive to light. Like, I am that person that, like, oh, it's, like, still kind of dark and hazy out. I'm wearing sunglasses. Actually, that, to me, is worse than when it's, like, super, super sunny. Because sometimes wearing the sunglasses makes it too dark, but, like, it hurts my eyes. Like, I am legit, like, the Wicked Witch of the West when she gets wet. And I'm like, oh, my eyes! I'm am I overdramatic? I don't know.
You don't mind if I do work.
No, not at all. If you guys hear that, that's my husband's Dremel. If you guys have been here for any length of time, you've heard him in the background doing all sorts of things. I just usually give people the heads up of what it is in case they're like, what's that noise? My favorite, although he hasn't had it in a while, is when he has the heat gun and it just catches the hollow part of the pop in their head and it sounds like a little ghost going, ooh. I haven't heard that in a long time. But if you guys didn't know, my husband customizes Funko Pops. All of his information is listed down below. If you would like to check him out on Instagram, see what he does, if you'd like to reach out for a pop, all of that, all of the information is down there. But yeah, so now we have another appointment, and she wants to talk about getting sunglasses. Now, my kiddo, as I mentioned, she has to wear her glasses, like, all the time. They're not, you know, oh, she's a little kid, and they're for distance, so she can wear them when she's, like, reading the board. No, she needs her glasses for up close, and, her and I had talked about it a little bit, and she's really interested in transitions, which I have never worn transitions. My husband has never worn transitions. I don't think my daughter is fully comprehending that it's not one of those things that, like, the second you go outside, they're super dark, and the second you come inside, they're back to normal. Like, they do take a little bit of time, and there is a little bit of an adjustment period. But for her, she likes the idea of that, so we're going to talk to them about that. If you guys have had them, or you've had, like, your kids or grandkids that have them, please let me know. I want to know if this is something like a child, bless you, a child can handle, bless you, or not. My thoughts is she'll be okay with it. She's just going to have to get used to it. But I've also come to the realization that, like, my kid is going to be that kid who has to wear glasses all the time. So I might as well make sure that she's comfortable in them to the best of my ability. So, meanwhile, I will wear glasses that, like, pinch my face and just, like, my old pair of glasses, I hated wearing them because they always gave me a headache because they were always pinching, like, behind my ears, always, and I just would never go back and get them adjusted because I tried once and, like, they didn't adjust them properly, and, yeah, so she is singing away, if you guys can hear her. Oh. I'm really proud of myself for being like, I'm going to be accomplished today. And now I feel like, am I accomplishing anything? Or am I just as scatterbrained as I feel? I feel very all over the place today. I think it's because, like, it's hard to concentrate on doing what I'm doing. It's a lot easier to concentrate when there's, like, more color blocking, I think, like, while talking. But I'm dealing with that. The constant beeping of the smoke detector. My child's monitor continuously going off. Thankfully, my husband is not, like, coming over here and trying to do, like, weird dances in front of me. Yes. Which I would welcome that. I would welcome it a lot. So today, you guys, my kiddo said something about she's really excited for Valentine's Day. I don't know what she knows about Valentine's Day or, like, what they talk about in school. But for her, she's like, I'm excited to celebrate. She knows it means love. And I was like, we also celebrate friendship because obviously the other 17 kids in your class are not sending you a Valentine because they're in love with you. But I didn't say that because I'm... But then she, of course, wants to, well, I want to go on a nice date with mommy and daddy. And I'm like, well, that's probably not going to happen. And then she's like, well, how about you and daddy go on a date and you can have my aunt watch me? And I go, well, your aunt is married. And she goes, to who? And I go, to your uncle. And she was like, what? I don't know what she thought they were. But they've been married since, like, before Brian and I started dating. And I was like, I'm not going to ask somebody who is happily married they have grown children. So it's not like they have to worry about having babysitters. I'm not going to ask them to watch my kid on Valentine's Day so that I can go on a date with my husband. But then Briar's like, well, I want a husband. And I'm like, you are 6. Meanwhile, we were watching do you remember the name of that show? We Are Family, I think. It's hosted by Anthony Anderson. I think it's on Fox. It's, like, celebrity relatives are singing and they give you clues and you have to figure out who their celebrity relative is. But we watch it, and there's a commercial for Farmer Wants a Wife. And she did it 2 weeks in a row, and she said the same thing. And I just let it... I'm not going to stifle her hopes and dreams. And she goes, I want a wife. And I go, okay. And she goes, I want to be the farmer. I was like, okay. So now she wants to marry daddy, and she also wants a wife. And I'm like, okay, listen, you're 6. You can't do either of those things. Like, no matter how old you are, you can't marry daddy. And then she's like, but why? And I'm like, because daddy's married to me. It is such a confusing concept to little kids. But her innocence about it just brightens my heart. And so we were talking because she really wanted to get a Valentine's Day Squishmallow at Five Below. And I was like, I don't know if they have any Valentine's Day ones. I usually get ads from Five Below on, like, their squishes, but I haven't gotten one in a while. Of course, we went to Five Below, and we couldn't find a single Squishmallow, and I was like, excuse me, where's your bin of Squishmallows? And she's like, we're completely sold out. And I was like, wow, okay. But she did end up finding one of the Hello Kitty characters, Kuromi, that's dressed up like Cupid, and she is freaking out about that. So, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with any of this. I'm just, excuse me, Jack, and I'm just seeing the word here. I'm not just speaking slowly. Let me grab a sip of water real quick. Do you guys ever look to see if your kits spell words out? I like when it spells words that aren't, like I had one that spelled ass just over and over again. It made me giggle. Clearly, as I'm telling you the story now, and I am giggling. But anyway, I have no idea where I'm at in my week. I feel like I've barely gotten through. So Tuesday we had a snow day. And it's interesting. I was talking to my mother-in-law this week. And I see a lot of, specifically, my husband's cousins who are all older than him. My husband is in his mid-40s. He is the youngest grandchild on both sides of his family. So all of his cousins are like 50s and 60s. And with the exception of one. But all of them are, I'm friends with a few of them on Facebook, and the amount of them that were like, in our day, this is what a snow day looked like versus what it looks like now. And I just have to say that, as a parent, if the roads are not fantastic, like if they haven't been completely cleared and all this, like I don't want to be driving in them, period. But the huge difference is that when we all went to school, and like my husband and I both lived through was it 96 or 93? 1996, at least where we lived. And my husband and I did not live in the same area, but we lived in the same state, 100 miles away from each other. There was a massive, like multiple feet of snow on the ground kind of snowstorm. And we don't live in a place that gets that kind of snow. We're not Buffalo. We're not, along the Great Lakes. Like, we don't get that kind of snow here, ever. And I don't think we've ever had that kind of snow since. We had one really, really, really bad storm where it was just hard and heavy, but it wasn't like people couldn't get out of their front doors, kind of. Anyway, but the difference is nowadays, there is a shortage of teachers, there is a shortage of bus drivers. You have a ton of schools that are being built in areas where kids cannot walk to school, so they are required to be bused to school. Like the school my child goes to right now, if you live within walking distance and you're on the front side of our school, because the back side of our school, there's like a development and kids can walk through that. But if they're on the front side of the school, there's no sidewalk on either side of the road, and they shut the road down often for flooding and poor conditions. Like kids can't walk to school. So they have to be bused. And while I understand there's a huge difference between your kid going to school with a foot of snow on the ground 30, 40 years ago, and now your kid's not going to school with like an inch of snow on the ground, but I totally understand. And I also... And if you guys are like an older generation who remembers, please let me know. Because my kid had a snow day, and then we got a text saying, this is when the snow day makeup day is. When I was a kid, they built in a certain amount of snow days. Now, obviously, if you live somewhere that snows regularly, and it's like, every year you're going to have snow days, excuse me, they're probably much more organized about this. But this is the first time that my child has been affected by an actual snow day. And I know what you're thinking. Lindsay, your kid's only in kindergarten. That's true. But since my kid was 15 months old, we've been receiving services from the state through the school department. And those were always on the same schedule as the school district. So if the school district had a delay, that affected our ability to have therapies. If the school district had a snow day, then there was no therapy services being offered that day. So while my kid has only been in, public school for this year, she did go to preschool, and she did have school services from 15 months on. So, which really tells you like how little snow we've had, which is crazy because I just remember like as a kid we always had snow. But anyway, we had them built into our snow our year, and if we had more than what was built into the school year, we had like a snow day makeup. But now they don't even have any of those built in, and it's not one of those things. I guess we live in a different time now where like before, if let's say they built in 3 snow days and we didn't have 3 snow days, they weren't like, okay, well, we'll give you those days back. But now you have parents that are like, well, I don't want my kid to go to school for 1 minute more than they need to. Where is this drill that I just pulled the color out for? This is going to drive me nuts. I just saw it. Like, I literally just pulled this color out because I was like, oh, I missed one. And I would ask you guys, but by the time you can tell me where it is...
There it is.
Nope. Damn it, for real. You guys, my husband is mocking me so hard right now. There we go. It's not where you said it was. You lied to me. I think that's the one thing with confetti that like drives me nuts is that no matter what, I'm always having to pull colors out multiple times, being like, oh, I thought I got this whole section. Nope, didn't. So yeah, let me know for people who have like adult children. Like, did your kids have them built into the school year? Because I swear that's what we did when we were... my husband and I both went to school in the 80s and 90s. He graduated in the 90s from high school. I graduated in 2001 from high school. But yeah. So, how am I on time? Oh, I've been rambling a lot, you guys. But, so we just decided to make the best of it. I had a couple, like, kits of baking cookies, and we watched some movies, and again, we didn't get to play in the snow because I have to look for her snow pants, which I feel like after her nap today, I should look for her snow gear. I know for a fact her waterproof jacket is in the car because we have used that at the rink. And then when we didn't need it, we put it back in the car as opposed to leaving it at home, needing it, and then being like, oh shoot. So, but this week has been, but there's still snow outside. She could still go to that hill and go.
It'll be gone by the end of the week. It's supposed to get warm.
Well, I should still know where it is. I also feel bad because she made a comment this morning about like not being able to play in the snow, and I'm like, also like I don't know when it changed, but as a kid I loved playing in the snow, and just the idea of bundling her up and then me having to go up and down a hill over and over and over again just does not seem appealing. And I feel like a couple years ago, I still would have been like, this is so much fun. But now I'm just like, nope. I would do it. Or I would just like sit at the edge of my yard and let her go down that little hill. Anyway. Where am I at? Yeah, so it's funny. My Google Maps, I look at like what I've done all week. Like where it tells me I've been. So I can tell you guys what I've been up to. And I love that it said that it has my home address. And then it says that I was there all day. Which is like, yeah, of course I was. We had a snow day. Then the next day was Wednesday. And we kept going back and forth with like, do you think, like, what do you think? And by the way, Monday wasn't even that bad. Not Monday. Tuesday wasn't even that bad. Compared to like what we got later in the week. But I was like, I wondered if they were going to have the kids go to school or not, or if they were going to have a delay. I believe, again, I should probably look into these things because I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure that if the kids have a 2-hour delay, that means that doesn't count against them for an actual snow day. They don't have to make that up. The problem is my kid goes to school half day. She's a half day kindergartner. And our half day, we drop her off. It's like 2.5 hours. And so now when there's a 2-hour delay, the half day means I'm taking my kid into school later and picking her up later, but she's not even there. She's like there for like an hour and 10 minutes. I'm like, this is so unnecessary. Like, I would much rather have my kid just not go to school than for us to have to scramble, take her to school, and then like an hour later come pick her back up. So I think a lot of parents plan their activities around their kids' school schedule. So for me, I had a chiropractor appointment scheduled that day, and she's like, "Can I come with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess." Because normally it would be after I dropped her off at school, I went. And so I'm at the chiropractor. They have a really good play area, so she likes to go and play with their toys. And I come out and she's got these squigs, and she's playing with the dump truck and the fire truck, and look at this, mommy, there's a book, and all of this stuff. She did a really good job. Most of the time she's pretty good when she's there. Every once in a while she'll come like wandering, and I'll see her like walking through the hallway, and I'm like, "Where are you going, kiddo?" And she's like, "Oh, nowhere. This one drill is stuck in my tray." Let's see. Do you want to come out? You want to come out, drill? Drill tray? Drill? Oh my god. Words. So we did that, and then my appointment was 9 o'clock, and my kid didn't have to go to school till 10:50. It was 10:50 to 12:30, which really means that like 10:50 to 12:15, you know, because then they line up the kids and they bring them outside and all of that stuff. So there's a Starbucks right down the street, and I was like, well, I can get a coffee, she can get a cake pop, and we could just waste some time. My husband was with us, because him and I had errands to run after we dropped her off at school, which we got so much accomplished in that little hour and a half time frame. So I was really proud of us. I'm trying to see if there's any of this color. Beep.
She even offered to go to Staples instead of Carat.Art.
I know. Of course, I just put that one away. This is one of those kits where, like, the symbol colors don't match all of the drill colors, which I don't need them to be exact. But when I'm looking for something and I go, oh, this is tan, and then on the thing it's green, it throws me off a little bit. And there's one right there. I enjoy the overall effect that these images have from Carat. I don't think there needs to be as much confetti in, like, the outline of things. But that's just me. Anyway, so we walk in, and one of my girlfriends, whose daughter also goes to kindergarten with my kiddo, she was there. Same idea. They did their grocery pickup and then had all this time to kill because she had planned the grocery pickup before we had a snow day planned. I feel like I'm flying through these colors because I already did a couple of them. And it was just like, this is more annoying than my kid not being at school. Like, I'd rather her just be off, and then we can go get the errands done that we need to. And I was really tempted to do one of those educational trips. And be like, we're going to learn all about chiropractics in the United States Postal Service. And just, like, I was like, this is so frustrating as a parent. And it's super inconvenient because now my kid is going to come home from school after her lunchtime. And I know it'll be different when she's in full day, but the half day kids, just like, can we make some sort of exception here? That and the PM kids have had 3 days this year where the AM kids had school and the PM kids didn't. So, like, instead of making us do a 2-hour delay, just let us be off and have the PM kids come in. Just make it easier. Make it more even. Because are we going to get 3 days off at the end of the school year? Probably not. But I don't know what she's singing, but she is enjoying it. And then while we were at Starbucks, my daughter discovered that my phone had a camera on it, which, like, she obviously knows that because she's seen me, but she took so many photos. She was taking photos of the garbage can, of the wall, of the coffee, of the cake pops, of people walking by, and then later in the day, it was pictures. There was like a dozen pictures of my butt, and I was like, cool, thanks, kid. And then she was like, can I see my pictures? And she just wants to keep looking back at the photos she took. And I'm like, I'm glad that you're enjoying this, but I need my phone back. And I also don't need, 10 pictures of my own butt. I honestly, I don't even think I need like one picture of my own butt, but, according to her, we needed a lot of them.
You never know if we have to find you. That may be the picture we use.
Really? Of just that's the only thing that is going to be the telling factor?
This is the most recent picture we have of her.
Indeed. That sounds pretty terrible. You should start taking photos of me then. And not my butt. But yeah, it was just like, and I know I'm complaining. I'm allowed to complain, but it's super annoying. At the end of the day, that's all it is. It's just super annoying. It's super inconvenient. And then,
well, everybody I tell, like her early dismissals, she gets out later.
Yes, on those 3 days that the PM kids had off that we didn't, they were early dismissal days. Somehow my daughter gets let out of school later
20 minutes later
than she does when she is just going to school normally. And it's because now the whole school is coming out at the same time that she would be coming out. And it's like, yeah, but that's not really fair to make our kids who normally get off at this time have to sit there and wait. I just really wish I knew where that little tray went. Pretty sure it fell off the front of my desk. It's okay. I'll survive. But yeah, so that's my rant. Oh, don't put that there, Lindsay. And I'm sure, like, honestly, would I rather her have a 2-hour delay than a snow day that she has to make up? Sure, but and also, can I say, like, a PSA from moms to the school districts? Please make your decision sooner. Like, I don't super love being woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning to find out that you have decided to close school. That for the high school kids, they're already up and getting ready. But also, just a friendly reminder to the people who run the school district, a lot of your teachers are also parents, and not all of them have kids in the same school district. And can you imagine being a teacher and being, like, told at 5 o'clock, like, your kid doesn't have school, but your school still has school, and now all of a sudden, now you need to find emergency childcare at 5 in the morning. And you're not going to have a whole lot of time because you still have to get ready for work. It's just, I feel like it should be made by a certain time.
Especially when all local, like almost all the other local schools had canceled by that time.
Yeah, like neighboring school districts, they had off, and when we didn't, I was like, oh, okay. Like, there's one school district in the county next to us. I mean, we're minutes from the line, but they had a snow day the one day when we did not, and, damn it, I just put that color away. This is what I'm talking about. I'm just constantly pulling out colors that I just put away. Am I in the right color? Yeah. And, I don't know, it's annoying. It's frustrating. It's annoying. I'm tired of ranting about it. Anyway, the next day, she had school. Yay! And we were... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, the day before, we had a play date at the library. And we were actually supposed to have it the previous day, but we didn't because of the library was closed because the school district was closed, I guess. I don't know. But they were closed for the weather, and I didn't even think about it. And so shout out to the mom who was like, oh, we're going to have to reschedule. And I was like, oh, okay. But it was quite interesting because my daughter, our library has like a really great play area, and I have recommended like play dates there because, first of all, it's other people's toys, which are always exciting. And I don't really have anything to worry about, like, cleaning up. I mean, obviously, I'll pick up after my kid. But if she's not doing anything messy, like, I don't have to worry about that. And it was really interesting. I've noticed that my kiddo, and this is like a at-home thing all the time, every little minor inconvenience is like the biggest deal in the world to her. Okay, she's a little kid, and I understand that she's still learning the way the world works. But it was really hard to watch as she was getting super frustrated with something. And then her friend asked her, "Can I help you with that?" And she was like, "No, I don't need your help," and just snapped at her. And so when her mom was like, "Okay, it's time to go. Do you want to say goodbye to her?" And she's like, "No, that's okay." And it made me sad because I don't think my daughter realizes like her actions are making it so that kids don't want to play with her. And I don't want to, listen, I'm not here to say you need to be just like everybody else, because that's not at all what I'm saying. But it's a mutual respect thing. I want my kid to obviously behave and to respect her peers, but she doesn't seem to get that if you treat your friends like garbage, it doesn't matter how old or young you are. Eventually, they're not going to want to be your friends. And that's just the way it is. And this is not the first situation where I've seen her do this, but apparently she's not like that at school. And it's like, well, it's hard to work on with her one therapist in the school if this is not a school issue, if it's just a outside of the school issue. I know there's more of this color too. I'm gonna put it away and kick myself in the butt. Anyway, how am I on time? Okay. So, guys, I thought that stopped for a minute. I got real nervous. We also, like, when we went to the supermarket, they had over in, like, the fruit section, they had the young coconut that already had the straw and stuff built in, and all you have to do is, like, press it in, and you can drink fresh coconut water. And I had explained to her, you know, because she wanted to try it. And I was like, absolutely, we'll get one. Just know it's not going to be, like, really sweet or anything like that. She loved it. I was really impressed. My husband's not a coconut person, so, but he did help us. She wanted to see if we could get the coconut flesh, which I don't think that they really intended on you doing that. But we finally got to it, and she was like, I don't really like that so much. And I was like, oh, okay. So you like the coconut water, but not the coconut meat. Okay. She likes, like, the sweetened coconut flakes. You know, she doesn't like that, I guess. Which was fine. But that was a lot of fun. So then the next day, we had school, we had ice skating. Fine. Then Friday, we had another snow day. And so, again, my husband, if he had work, one of the days he didn't have work because of the snow, another one he did. He would take the car if he had work, and we had nothing on the schedule because it just made more sense than us driving back and forth. And I don't really like driving on the snow at all, period. But it was a lot of fun. We got to hang out. We baked oatmeal cookies that, not oatmeal raisin, because raisins are disgusting in my opinion. That is my number one, like, absolute no food. So if you ever want to know, that's what it is. What?
If they ever want to piss you off, say
Yeah.
raisins.
Oh my god, last night the waitress was like, and here's our carrot cake, and it has golden. I was like, nope. You don't even need to finish the sentence. Nope. Don't want it with the raisins. Raisins are gross. I love grapes. And Pryor was like, trying to talk to me about it, and I was like, I don't think she understands that raisins are just shriveled up grapes, but I don't like raisins. Anyway, so we baked cookies. We watched a little bit of TV and movies. I had this science kit that I bought on, like, deep clearance at Walmart forever ago. It's based on the show on Netflix called Ada Twist Scientist, which is really super cute, and it came with these science experiment cards. Like, one was making oobleck, one was magic milk, which she loved. The pepper one, I don't know if you guys have ever done that, where you put pepper on top of water. You put your finger in, the pepper sticks to your finger, and then you put soap on your finger, and you do the same thing, and the pepper scatters. It's to show kids how germs are spread really easily. And she was like, I want to be a scientist now. Like, she loved doing all of this. And she's been saying to us at home that we get to learn science at school soon. I'm really excited. Like, she really wants to learn it. So I thought this would be a good little thing to bust out of the garage. And I looked at it online, and it's back to the full price. I want to tell you guys, we got this dirt cheap. We got it for, like, maybe a quarter of the price. I think the clearance price was like $13. And then when we rang it up, it was $8, something like that. And this is like a $50 kit. Yep. She just, yeah, sometimes we find those like crazy deals that are on the shelf and we're like, that can't be right. And I guess that's the perk of always walking through the toy department. But anyway, so we watched a couple of those episodes and she was really, really into it. And I thought it was really well done. And they show the kids and then they show like real life scientists, and each scientist they show is so different than the one before. They all study in different fields of science. It was really cool to see. I also thought it was really great. They are reflecting like what real life families look like. Like the one kid comes from a family of divorce, and she said something about how like, oh, well, my mom and dad don't live together anymore, and just kept going, and nobody was like, oh, I'm so sorry, little Sue. Like they just, unfortunately, that's pretty normal in our society, and but it wasn't like something that they harped on and made a big deal out of. I thought it was well handled, and she seems to really, really enjoy it. But my favorite quote, which if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen, I put this up in my story. She's like, I'm so glad that we have Disney Plus so we can watch this on Netflix. And like, she has no concept that Netflix is its own streaming service and that Disney Plus is its own streaming service. One has nothing to do with the other. You can't watch shows from one on the other. If you have one, it doesn't mean you have the other. If you like, she knows that her grandmother doesn't have Disney Plus, but she's continuously like, well, can we watch this at her house? And I'm like, no, she doesn't have that channel. Which the whole concept of streaming is so weird to me. Like thinking back to like when we were younger, what options we had for television, and like if you wanted to tape something, you had to physically set up a VCR and schedule it or push the button at the right time so it would record what you needed it to. And now like literally anything you want to watch, you can find it. The push of a button. Most TVs don't even have, forget VHSs, but like most TVs don't even have accessible DVD players anymore. The only thing we can play a DVD on in our house is our PlayStation, which is not even downstairs. It's like up where we craft. But we did a bunch of that, and then we hung out again at home. We had a lot of hangouts this week, and it was nice to just like pretty much do nothing but just like hang out and have quality time with my kiddo. And when my husband was around, my kiddo and my husband, and it was a really lovely week, a very chill week, and we had some amazing like listening skills happening, which is not something that we tend to see regularly, which is funny because like school tells us how good she is at all these things, and I'm like, we don't, that's not our kid. Like we don't have the kid that listens and follows directions and does all of those things that you're saying. Like, are you sure we're talking about the same kid? But yeah, it just overall, like I said, it's been a chill week, but it's been a fun week. We are now discussing maybe actually like traveling for spring break, which we've gone back and forth on of like, should we, shouldn't we? But then we found some really good flight prices. But it's just a matter of like, if we go visit family, we have to make sure that it coordinates with what their schedules look like and not just our schedule. And, that's that. But I think this is a good place to leave you. I don't want to start a new color. I am just approaching the hour mark here. We're close to it. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this one. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more videos like this or nothing like this at all, please make sure to give this video 2 thumbs up. One real life, one virtual. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Come join the Sparkle Squad. And while you're there, hit that notification bell. I do not operate on any sort of schedule. I operate on Tyler Standard Time, and I record when my tiny human is sleeping or sleeping. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.